Well, my parents were separated when I was really little. Like, before I was even born. It was, sort of a one-night sort of thing. Except it was in the day. In a meadow, where my mother went to go watch my father pass by every day. Anyways, I always knew who he was, and I'd see him go by. I mean, who doesn't? But I never really knew him. And he wasn't around. I mean, not around, you know?
Where better might we find a more precise illustration of premature initiation than in this ancient tale of alternating parental indulgence and neglect?
So I go to an expensive school that is filled with a lot of boys who are, well, you know, sons of the rich and famous. And one day we're on the playground, and this kid, Epiphas, he goes to me. He says, "So, Phaeton, blah, blah. Who's your father? What does he do? Blah, blah, blah." And I say, "He's the son." And you know what he says to me? He says, "Tell me another." And I say, "No, really, he's the son. He's Phoebus Apollo." And he basically just trampled me. I mean, beat the shit out of me, like I was lying.
Neither his own opinion of himself, nor the regard for him, or lack of it in his peers, obviates the father's primitive role as initiating priest for the younger being. Now it cannot be contested that the absence of this figure is for the son an almost irredeemable loss.
So I go home, and I say, "Mom, this happened." You know, at school. And she gets all upset, crying and everything, because she still loves him, and it's an insult to her, too. And I say, "Well, if it's true, how come there's no proof? It's no fair to us, you know, that there's no proof." And she gets even more upset. And she says, "Hear me, my child. Your Father in all his glory looks down upon us. I swear, by his splendor you are his truly begotten Son. That fiery orb you see crossing the sky each day, who seats, enlivens, and enables the earth, and orders our very days and nights, is indeed your sire. Hear me, my darling. Blah, blah, blah."
When he matures beyond the customary Eden of the mother breast, the child seeks to individuate beyond his enfolded gaze. He turns to the new symbols of the paternal realm, thus beginning his spiritual passage from one sphere to the next.
So she tells me to go over to the valley where my dad goes to work every morning and just ask him to set things straight, to, well, you know, do right by me. So I set out. And it's hot. And it's dusty. And it's a long way across Ethiopia. And I hitch part of the time and I walk part of the time. And finally, I get there. And the hill is steep.
But this passage is never easy.
So I get to the front door, and there are my dad's 3 secretaries, the days, the hours, and the centuries. But they recognize me, so they tell me to go on in. And there he is, all shining and golden. I mean, he's so bright, I can't even see him. And you know what he says to me? He says, my son, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Speak, Phaeton, to your
to
father.
your father.
And I just can't tell you what this means to me. I mean, I tell him everything. I just spill my guts. You know what he says? He says, "Let me grant you a favor. Anything you ask for shall be yours." And he swears to it.
The conventional exordium of the initiate from latent to realized potential is inevitably accompanied by a radical realignment of his emotional relationship with the imago of parental authority.
There's only one thing I want. I mean, it's obvious, right? I say, "Give me the keys to your car." Immediately he starts backpedaling. And it's his job, and only he can do it. And then up in the sky there's a bull, a lion, and a scorpion.
There's a scorpion
to get me. And I say, "It's my turn. You promise. Give me the keys to your car. I want to light the world today."
The father or his substitute must be assured before he transfers the symbols of adult vocation that the son is no longer operating from infantile complexes that may dangerously redirect his new task through unconscious promptings of self-aggrandizement, personal preference, or even resentment.
"Where have you been all my life, Dad? It's my turn. Hand it over." So he hands me the reins. But he won't stop giving advice. Well, like, don't fly too high.
Fly too high.
Nor too low. Stay in the tracks. Go slantwise. But I didn't listen.
Myths are the earliest form of science.
Well, it was over before it even began. It was chaos, okay? It's like no one was even driving.
My knees were weak, my eyes were blinded by all the light, and I set the earth on fire.
Oh.
And then I fell. And it just destroyed me. I mean, completely and utterly destroyed me. O-V-E-R, over.
It has been said that a myth is a public dream. Dreams are private myths. Unfortunately, we give our mythic side scant attention these days. As a result, we lose sight of a great deal and no longer understand our own actions. So it remains important and salutary to speak not only of the rational and the easily understood, but also of enigmatic things, the irrational and the ambiguous. Speak both publicly and privately.